Hi, my name is Assaf. I'm a jazz guitarist and composer, and I'm here today to help you become a better jazz guitarist and composer. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic, grouping. We're going to learn what is grouping, and we're going to learn how to practice grouping, so stay tuned. Grouping means that you take a few notes together to make a phrase, and those notes actually imply a group, and the group is going to be a certain number. Let me just give an example that will be actually easier. For example, a group of 5, that means I'm going to play a phrase and I'm going to play an accent musically every 5 notes. So for example, if I'm taking F major scale, so I play the first 5 notes in the scale. This is one way to do it, just an example what is a grouping of 5. I played the first 5 notes in the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is also F, G, A, B flat, C. So I have now 5 notes. If I'm going to do the same from the second note of the scale, from G, and I'm going to play forward 5 more notes, so I'm going to start having the idea of a grouping. The listener would hear that I'm playing a major scale, maybe, and is going to hear a certain time, maybe 8 notes or triplets or 60 notes. Then you can choose what time you want to play. But then he would hear that the notes have grouped in 5s in this example. For example, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just keep doing it. So I'm taking the first note in the scale and playing 5 notes up. Then I'm taking the second note in the scale and playing 5 notes up. Then the third note in the scale. So I'm creating kind of a sequence here, or pattern. And the pattern repeats every 5 notes. That's why it's grouping. It's not playing an odd meter. It's not playing 5/4. That depends on the song. So for example, if I have a song in 4/4, I can still do it. And what I'm doing is playing, let's say, 8 notes. Let's say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I did, again, playing in 8 notes over, let's say, 4/4, and I'm grouping the notes in 5 in this particular way. There's a lot of ways that you can group notes in 5. I'll give you a few more examples, and then I'm going to show you how to practice that with the metronome and also over a song. So what was unique in what I showed you was I'm playing 5 notes going up the scale, and then I'm going to the second note of the scale and 5 more notes, and then to the third note of the scale and 5 more notes. That is establishing the grouping. Now you can do something else. Let's just stick with F major scale. You can do something like that. You can play the first, let's say, 3 notes in the scale, okay? And then you can group them in the following way. You play twice the first note, twice the second note, and only 1 time the third note. That is going to also give you a group of 5. Okay? And then you can move on, for example. This is just one example. There's hundreds of ways that you can do it. I'll give you just a few examples, and then you can go crazy and create whatever you like. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or F, F, G, G, A. Then I'm going to go on to the next notes in the scale and just do the same pattern. That's going to establish the grouping of 5. Okay? So I'm playing F, F, G, G, A, and then B flat twice, C, C, D, and moving up the scale, E, E, F, F, G. So it's going to sound like that. Okay? So basically I went on just F major scale, where just played the notes of F major scale, but I decided that I'm playing the scale up, but first note twice, second note twice, the next note is 1 time, then the next note is twice, the note after that twice, and the next note only 1 time. So always you have this grouping of 5. So the way to practice it you can do it over a metronome, for example. We just set up, this is just metronome just on 120. You can do it at any speed, and you want to experience actually different speeds. So you decide on which pattern you want to do. First of all, you decide on the pattern that's going to give you the 5. I'll show you 2 ways. There's more ways. I'll show you another way after that. So let's take the last pattern, and I'm just going to play it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I did, I just played it backwards. B flat, A, G, F, E, D, just going backwards. So this is one step. You choose your pattern of 5, and then you just play it over a metronome or just by yourself. You decide what you wanna. You can play quarter notes. You can play. I have another video on that. Playing quarter notes, 8 notes, triplets, 16 notes. So you decide you want to play quarter notes or 8 notes or triplets or 16 notes. This is like kind of your inner grid, how you're going to play over the time. But within that, you decide how you group the notes. And today we're working on 5, so you're grouping those in 5s. Another way, for example, you can play the first 3 notes in the scale, and then come back to the first note, and then the second note. That's also a group of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, F, G, A, F, G. The next string of the scale, you just do exactly the same, so you're going to get the pattern of 5. Any sequence or any pattern that is grouping the notes clearly in 5 is going to give you the effect of groupings in 5, not the effect, but actual. It's going to give you the effect of 5 played over the song, but it would be actually just grouping of 5. So again, last one was F, G, A, F, G, and next string still in F major scale, B flat, C, D, B flat, C. So a question for you, what would be the next one on the 4th string? Just moving up the scale, it's going to be the first 3 notes, which are in this case E, F, G, E, F. So the pattern kind of fits, you go on every string that you play 3 notes, first 3 notes, and you come back to the first and second again. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Next string, exactly the same pattern, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So if I do that over the playback, over the metronome, 8 notes, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So I can also choose, instead of playing 8 notes, I can do triplets, or I can do 16 notes with the same phrase. So I'll show you how we're going to do that. Triplets. We do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So those were triplets with exactly the same phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So my inner grid is triplets, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But actually I'm taking the melody inside the triplets, the notes themselves, and just group them in 5. So what do I have here? I have the metronome going just on the beats. I can say it's 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. On top of that I'm playing triplets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's my pulse, kind of secondary pulse, because this is my main pulse and then secondary pulse. On top of that, I'm playing notes, okay? Any notes in triplets. But then instead of just playing any notes, I'm taking groups of 5s. On top of the triplets, I'm actually grouping those in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how would it sound with 60 notes? Just I'm going to tune to playing 60 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be my secondary pulse or inner grid, and on top of that I'm going to play the pattern of 5. So the pattern is exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. The pattern is the same. I'm just kind of shifting gears and play it faster or slower. 8 notes, 60 notes, triplets. So another way to practice that, and you can practice anything like that. You can practice just by yourself, slowly, playing the ideas you want, with no rush, with no pressure, with no time. Then you can take it and play it over a metronome like we did. And then another step, you can just put the playback with 1 chord or 2 chords or just a chord progression. Or you play it over a song. You take any standard you like and you take this idea, let's say it's... and you just try to improvise with that. You can also start by just playing the scales over the standards or the standard you chose. And then later you can really try to take this as a motif and just improvise. So now I'm going to just show you how to play it over a playback, just in F. So I can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just end the phrase in another way. And then I can play it in, let's say again, different speeds. Or you can do it any speed or slower. Let's restart 1. And then you can just improvise freely, and then every once in a while put that phrase, then it would make it more musical. For example, so you can just jam on that and play from notes from the scale, playing just a melody, and then go into this kind of sequence type of grouping of 5. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that's going to improve your playing, that you can start playing melodies that are more complicated rhythm-wise, because basically this is talking about the rhythm, or some of the rhythm that is behind the melody. If you like this video, please click like, that I know people like it, subscribe, then you get more videos, and obviously share if you know anybody else that's going to like this video, share. If you have any questions or comments, this is the place. Just leave below this video any comments or questions you have, and I'm making sure to answer everything personally. So till next time, have fun and practice.